Sir, start.
Yeah, okay. A very good afternoon to all the students. Hope you all are doing great and everything is good. Yeah, thank you, Abdan. A very good afternoon to you as well. So, before we start with today's revisionary lecture on financing decision capital structure, just a brief introduction about myself. My name is CA Dviksha. I'm a qualified chartered accountant, and with the grace of God and with all of your blessings, I secured an All India rank 44 in my CA final examinations. And adding to that, I secured score of 91 marks in strategic financial management. So you have FM in CA Inter, right? We have strategic financial management at CA final level. So this subject personally is my favorite, and it is in the safe hands. So before we start with today's session, I just want to explain you the meaning of capital structure. I hope by now you would have understood what is the meaning of capital structure. When I say capital structure is nothing but, in simple terms, arrangement of funds. Capital structure is what? Arrangement of funds from different sources. Arrangement of funds from different sources. My screen is visible, right, to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And I would like that class is little interactive and responsive so that it gets a good connect with each other. So please respond, please be interactive. So as I said, capital structure. Structure means arrangement and capital means money. So arrangement of money from different sources. Now, what are the different sources of funds from which we can raise money? Can you tell me, students? What are the different sources from which we can raise money? Oh, wow. Everyone is typing. Yes, equity, correct. Debt, correct. What about preference shares? Yes, that's correct. What about long-term loans? So can I say ideally speaking, there are basically two sources of funds. Ideally, either खुद के पैसे लगाओ, that is called own funds. Yes or no? या बाहर से लोन लेके पैसे लगाओ, that is called debt funds. So broad category is two. Either you put in your own funds, your own capital, that is called own funds, and अगर आपके पास पैसे नहीं है तो लोन लेके लगाओ, करेक्ट, डेट फंड्स फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट एज वेल. बट हम यहाँ पे सारे इंडियन सोर्सेस की बात करेंगे, ठीक है. सो ओन फंड्स, हु आर द ओनर्स इन द कंपनी? हु आर द ओनर्स इन द कंपनी? कैन आई से ओन फंड में इक्विटी, प्रेफरेंस एंड कुछ रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस हुआ तो वो आ जाएगा. दिस आर दी पार्ट्स ऑफ ओन फंड्स. एंड डेट फंड्स में कैन आई से डिबेंचर्स आएंगे, बॉन्ड्स आएगा. अच्छा, कुछ बैंक से लॉन्ग टर्म उधारी ली, लॉन्ग टर्म लोन लिया, वो सारी चीज आ जाएगी डेट फंड्स में, करेक्ट. Yes, everyone agreed? Any questions? Yes, shareholders are the owners. Perfect. Bonds, debenture holders are all a part of debt funds. Now the question is, what is the objective of this chapter? ये financing decision, capital structure जो chapter है, उसका objective क्या है? उसका objective यही है कि क्या हमें own fund से पैसे raise करना चाहिए? Shall we raise the fund through owners funds? Or shall we raise the capital through debt funds? Acha, there is one more option. We can combine the both. Some portion you can raise it through own funds and some portion you can raise it through debt funds, correct? But what should be the proportion? क्या मुझे 50% owners fund से लाना है, क्या 50% debt से लाना चाहिए, या 40 owners 60 debt, या 60 owners 40 debt? What is the ideal proportion? What is the optimum capital structure? ये चैप्टर हमें सिखाएगा. In what proportion are they are required to be raised? Yes, this is the ultimate objective of this chapter. You are correct. The ultimate objective of this chapter is from what, like from which sources and how much proportion of that source is to be added. Yes or no? Correct. So the learning objective, the overall learning objective of this chapter is first learning objective. Just a second, I will insert a blank slide. The learning objective of this chapter is evaluation of different financing plans. Evaluation of different financing plans, or I would say different financing options. Like in the question, they would give that आप 60% ओनर्स फंड से लाइए, 40% डेट से लाइए. अनदर ऑल्टरनेटिव वुड बी 50% प्रेफरेंस से लाइए, 50% डेट से लाइए. थर्ड ऑल्टरनेटिव वुड बी 50% इक्विटी से, 50% प्रेफरेंसेस, और एनी कॉम्बिनेशन इट कुड बी देयर इन द क्वेश्चन. But our objective is to select the best source, is to select the best financing plan. Yes or no? There would be different financing options available to you. As a financial manager, आप प्रैक्टिकली सोचो, व्हेन यू बिकम अ फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर, आपके पास भी एक क्वेश्चन आएगा कि यार हमें पैसे 20 लाख चाहिए फॉर स्टार्टिंग अ न्यू बिजनेस, बट हम ये 20 लाख लाए कहां से? खुद खुद के डाले या बाहर से उधारी पे लेके डाले? एंड इफ वंस वी डिसाइड कि खुद के डालने हैं, तो हाउ मच प्रपोर्शन वी नीड टू raise through own funds, how much proportion we need to raise through debt funds. So you need to evaluate different financing plans and select the best one. Yes or no? There would be n number of financing plans available to you, but as a manager, you have to take a decision and you have to select the best one. Yes or no? Everyone following till here? I'm just quickly revising you what you have studied till date. And the best one, best plan would be that plan that maximizes your EPS. Best plan would be that plan which maximizes your EPS. Because agar EPS bada, so can I say market price of the share would go up, and market price of the share increases, then wealth of the shareholder also increase. There is some technical problem. Tech support. My screening has been stopped. I had shared my screen, but it somehow went off. I'm again sharing. Yes. हाँ, वापस कर रहा हूँ. Yes, yes. वो ऑटोमेटिक बंद हो गया. I don't know why. Okay, now screen is visible. Okay. So first objective of this chapter is evaluating different financial plans and selecting the best one. And the best financial plan is that plan that maximizes your EPS. Financial manager या CFO का ultimate objective is to maximize the wealth of the owners, the shareholders. So first is evaluation of different financial plans and selecting the best one. So this is the first learning objective of this chapter. And as I said, best one is that plan that maximizes your EPS. Maximum EPS wala plan we will select. Second learning objective of this chapter is indifference point. Okay, what do you mean by indifference point? What do you mean by indifference point? In typical Hindi language, indifference point means कुछ फर्क ना पड़ना. अब recently there was Women's T20 World Cup and the finale, the final match was between New Zealand and South Africa. अब उसमें से कौन जीता हमें क्या फर्क पड़ा? कुछ फर्क पड़ा? Are we concerned about that? Yes or no? No, indifference point is not no profit, no loss. That is break even point. Indifference point, in very simple terms, to remember, to memorize is कुछ फर्क ना पड़ना. So here, as I said in the example of Women's T20 World Cup, that New Zealand जीते या South Africa जीते, हमें कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ता as an Indian. So similarly, applying that concept, as a financial manager, he would be having different alternatives. Plan 1 होगा, Plan 2 होगा, Plan 3 होगा. And under indifference point, फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर कोई भी प्लान सिलेक्ट करे उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. दैट इज व्हाट इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट सेज. इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट मींस एज अ फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर वो प्लान ए सिलेक्ट करे, आइदर ही सिलेक्ट्स प्लान बी और आइदर ही सिलेक्ट्स प्लान सी, ही इज वेरी इंडिफरेंट, उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तो कहना है जब दो प्लान का ईपीएस, व्हेन द ईपीएस ऑफ टू प्लान इज सेम, तब उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. ही कैन सिलेक्ट एनी प्लान. Yes or no? When EPS of two plans is same, financial manager would be indifferent because both are generating the same value to the shareholders. Are you getting this? Everyone understanding the concept of indifference point? Indifference point in simple terms means kuch farak na padna. So when EPS of both the plans would be same, then both the plans would generate same value to the shareholders. Yes. So at what EBIT? At what level of EBIT my EPS of both the plan is same? That is indifference point. कंपनी का EBIT कितना होना चाहिए कि प्लान ए में EPS सेम हो with plan B? Are you following with me? So indifference point is that point of EBIT, or you can say that level of EBIT where EPS under plan 1 and plan 2 is same. So we will see how indifference point works. We will take some practical examples, we will take some practical problems and solve that. Third learning objective is financial break-even point. What is the third learning objective of this chapter? Financial BEP. Break-even point in short is termed as BEP. जैसे अभी किसी ने बोला था नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस, so that is break even point. Break even point ideally means no profit no loss, no profit no loss situation, but no profit no loss to the equity shareholders. Are you getting this? Not to the debt holders, not to the company. No profit no loss to the equity shareholders. मतलब इक्विटी शेयरहोल्डर्स को अर्निंग्स में ठिंगा ही मिल रहा है, कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है. Equity shareholders are earning zero from the company. That is financial break-even point. So at what level of EBIT company का EPS would be zero? That is financial break-even point. Are you getting this? कंपनी का EBIT कितना होना चाहिए? At what level of EBIT? At what point of EBIT equity shareholders are earning ठिंगा zero? Following? So this is the third learning objective. Any questions till here? Any questions in the overview of this chapter, capital structure decision? And fourth learning objective, see, please be responsive. And fourth learning objective is understanding of some capital structure theories. Understanding of capital structure theories. There are some theories propagated by learned researchers of finance. उनकी हमें theory पढ़नी है. So this is the broad overview, broad insights to be covered in this chapter. Understood? Everyone following? Can we move ahead now? Can we take one learning objects one by one? हम एक एक लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को लेते हैं एंड सी हाउ इट वर्क्स. ओके परफेक्ट थैंक यू सर. अब ठीक है. ओके थैंक यू. So first learning objective is understanding or evaluating different financial plans and selecting the best one. Evaluation of different financial plans and selecting the best one. So as I said, the best plan would be that plan which generates highest EPS. Plan that generates highest EPS. Or if P ratio is given, then we will calculate market price as well. So, or plan that generates highest MPS will be selected. Why that plan will be selected? Because it would maximize the wealth of the shareholder. And the ultimate objective of financial management is to create maximum value, to create maximum wealth to the ultimate owners, जो equity shareholders होता है. ठीक है. So to calculate EPS, we know the format. Correct? The format is something like this. Quickly, let's revise that. EBIT. उसमें से हम interest, we will subtract interest. The resultant figure would be called as EBT. We will subtract tax from it. This gives me profit after tax or earnings after tax, PAT or EAT, anything. We will subtract the preference dividend that we pay to the preference shareholders. And the resultant earnings is called earnings to equity shareholders. Yes or no? Correct? And with this, if we divide by the number of equity shares, we get what? Can I say we get earnings per share? Yes or no? And if we multiply P ratio with earnings per share, can I say we get market price per share? So this is the format that you all know, just a brief recap. Correct? So our format actually starts with sales, less variable cost, contribution, less fixed cost. Then we get operating profit, which is EBIT. But in this chapter, your practical problem, I would say 80% of the time would start with EBIT. Correct? So this is the general format of EPS, of calculating EPS, multiplying by PE ratio, and we get market price per share. ICAI, yes, correct. ICAI. बस इसकी माला आप जपते रहो डेली. So let's take some practical problem from module and see how our learning objective 1 works. Difference between break even and indifference. Break even is no profit, no loss situation. Indifference point is that point जहाँ financial manager को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता हो. Means either he selects plan A or plan B. He is indifferent. He is very neutral between the two plans. That is the difference between break even and indifference. So indifference में ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि EPS would be zero. EPS would be same between two plans, but it is not necessary that it would be zero. But however, under financial break-even point, EPS would always be zero. Hope you understand. So can you see my screen, everyone? I have just opened module from the portal, you can open your module, your physical module. So come to practical problem number 1. Let's try to solve that. I will just give you the page number. Page number 5.52. Okay, let me share the screen again. Module is not visible. Okay, just a second. Now, can you see the module? At the time, to share my entire screen with you. Can you see the module? Question 1. Everyone? Okay, let's read question. INA Limited is considering a new project which requires a capital investment of 9 crores. So how much capital is needed? 9 crores. Interest on term loan is 12%. Corporate tax is 30%. Calculate the point of indifference. What is asked? Calculate the point of indifference for the project considering the debt equity ratio. But right now we are learning, we are understanding the learning objective number 1, like evaluation of different plans and selection of best plan. So in that case, when we come to indifference point, we will solve this question. But before that, let's take a problem that says about selection of different plan. Calculate the rate. Okay, let's take question number 5. Yo-Yo Limited presently has 36 lakh in debt outstanding, bearing an interest rate of 10%. It wishes to finance a 40 lakh expansion program and is considering 3 alternatives. Okay, so a company already has 30 lakhs in debt at a rate of 10%. Now it is undergoing an expansion program, and for that it needs 40 lakhs of funds. Now there are 3 alternatives to raise this 40 lakhs. Alternative 1, raise through additional debt at 12% interest, or raise through preference shares with an 11% dividend, or raise this 40 lakhs at the issue of equity shares at 16 per share. The company presently has 8 lakh shares outstanding and is in a 40% bracket. If earnings before interest and taxes are presently 15 lakh, determine earnings per share for 3 alternatives, assuming no immediate increase in profitability. So fifth, question number 5, part A is asking us to calculate earnings per share for 3 different alternatives. And they have also mentioned that with this expansion program, there would not be any increase in EBIT. Means the EBIT of 15 lakh would remain same. Can you see my screen, blank page screen? Okay, thanks. Thanks, Om Krishna. So first step, Whenever you solve this kind of questions, your first step is to write down the plans, is to write down the different plans. I will just keep on adding some. Working note 1, evaluation of different alternatives. How much is the funds needed? Funds needed is 40 lakhs, correct? Everyone? And for that, we have three different alternatives: debt, preference, and equity. Yes or no? Debt is at 12%, preference is at 11%, and equity shares at 16. At 12%, at 11% preference dividend, and at rupees 16 per share. So can you all tell me the number of shares that would be needed or that would be issued to raise this 40 lakhs? Can I say it's 250? 40 lakh divided by 2 divided by 16. So can I say we have to issue 2,50,000 new shares? Yes or no? New, additional shares, not existing. We have 8 lakh shares. This is additional over and above that 8 lakh shares. Now the next step is preparing the income statement. Next step is preparing the income statement. So let's prepare that. We know the format. The format is EBIT less interest will give me EBT less tax will give me PAT or earnings after tax less preference dividend will give me earnings for equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares, which will give me EPS, which is what I need to calculate in part A of question 5. So let's take alternative 1, alternative 2, and alternative 3 simultaneously. Now, my EBIT, as said in the question, is 15 lakh. And it has specifically mentioned that after this expansion, the EBIT would remain same. As देखो ये लाइन में लिखा है ना, assuming no immediate increase in profitability means EBIT would remain same. Can I say 15 lakh in all the cases? Yes or no? Correct. Now we have to subtract interest. Bolo, under which alternative I need to subtract the interest? Can everyone say? Anyone say? कौन से ऑल्टरनेटिव में मैं इंटरेस्ट माइनस करूं? ध्यान से देखना ऊपर. See the different alternatives available. In all, that is correct because existing that is there na, 36 lakh. उस पे तो 10% that is existing, that is applicable to all the alternatives. Yes or no? So interest would be subtracted in all the alternatives. The additional interest would only be subtracted in alternative 1. ये ध्यान रखना because this is the mistake where this is the place where students do mistakes frequently. So interest that 36 lakh पे तो 36 lakh पे 10% is to be subtracted for all the alternatives. 360, because that is the existing debt. It will not go anywhere. And plus the additional 12% on 40 lakhs would be subtracted in alternative 1. So 480, yes or no? यहाँ पे additional 480. So please students don't do this mistake. जनरली यहाँ पे मिस्टेक होती है कि सिर्फ ऑल्टरनेटिव 1 में स्टूडेंट्स माइनस करते हैं, बट इट विल कम. So can you tell me EBT? EBT is 15 minus 360 minus 480, 660 under alternative 1, 1140 alternative 2 and 1140 alternative 3. Tax rate is how much? Tax rate is at 40%. So my earnings after tax would be 660 minus 40%. 396, 1140 minus 40%. See, I'm saving some time. I'm not writing the tax figure. I'm assuming you all know to calculate that. I'm saving our time and I'm writing earnings after tax directly. Now tell me, preference dividend I need to subtract under which alternative? कौन से alternative में मैं minus करूं? Preference dividend. Can I say there is no existing preference share capital in the company's capital structure? Yes or no? So alternative 2. Yes, you are correct. Only under alternative 2. So no preference dividend in alternative 1 and 3. And can I say 40 lakh, 11%. 440 I need to subtract. So my earnings for equity shareholders under alternative 1 is 396. Under alternative 2 is 244. And under alternative 3 is 684. Divide by number of shares. Under alternative 1, my number of equity shares would be 8 lakh. Correct? Only the existing one. Under alternative 2, again it would be 8 lakh only because no new shares are issued. But under alternative 3, it would be 8 lakh the existing and 250 the additional or new equity shares. Correct? So 1050. So my EPS under alternative 1 comes to 0.495. Under alternative 2, it comes to 0.305. And under alternative 3, it comes to 0.651. Yes or no? Everyone. Is everyone following? और सब सर के ऊपर से जा रहा है? So this is part A of question 5. You just need to calculate the earnings per share. Under part B, they have asked, analyze which alternative you would prefer. बोलो, what is your expert opinion? आप सबका expert opinion बताओ. हमें alternative 1 select करना चाहिए, 2 या alternative 3? Alternative 3, that's correct. 7 crore. We need to select alternative 3 because it is generating maximum EPS. Maximum EPS means maximum wealth to the shareholders. So part B, company should go for alternative 3, that is raising funds through equity as EPS is maximum. Yes or no? Part B, second. So hope everyone understood the learning objective or the learning outcome number one, evaluating the different plans and selecting the best one. So part A was all about learning objective one, evaluating different financing plans and selecting the best alternative. Hope everyone understood. Now part B, second part, they have asked compute how much would EBIT need to increase before the second alternative would be best. क्या पूछा है सेकेंड पार्ट में कि मान लो हमें ऑल्टरनेटिव वन नहीं नाउ कैन आई से दिस इज फर्स्ट this would be our first preference this would be our first preference, like we will raise through equity. Yes or no? We will give first rank to alternative 3. We will give second rank to alternative 1 and we will give third rank to alternative 3. Now part B में second question they have asked how much would EBIT need to increase before the second alternative is best. Now they are saying कि नहीं हमें as a financial manager मुझे ये first rank वाला select नहीं करना है. I want to go for this second best alternative, that is raising through debt. तो मेरे EBIT में कितना फर्क होना चाहिए? This is what they have asked. Are you getting? Are you understanding the question? I don't want to go for alternative 3. Let's suppose as a financial manager I don't want to go for this alternative, but मुझे second best के लिए सोचना है. I want to go for second best alternative, that is raising through debt. मुझे वो सोचना है as a financial manager. तो मेरा EBIT कितने से बढ़ना चाहिए? This is what they have asked in simple terms. Yes sir? Yes, correct. So when I say my second plan C at 15 lakh per annum at EBIT of 15 lakh per annum at EBIT of 15 lakh per annum, can I say my sure short answer would be to go for alternative 3 because it is generating highest EPS? Yes or no? मैं प्लान 2 प्लान 3 के बारे में दूर दूर तक सोचूंगा भी नहीं because at 15 lakhs I know this is alternative 3 is generating maximum EPS. तो मैं दूसरे alternative के बारे में क्यों सोचूं? I can think of this alternative 2. I can think of this second best alternative only when the EBIT or only when can I say ये दोनों का EPS सेम हो तभी मैं alternative और तभी मैं second best alternative के बारे में सोच सकता हूं. तब तक तो मैं सोचूंगा भी नहीं. Are you getting this? At 15 lakh I'm sure short कि मुझे alternative 3 means equity से raise करना है. हाँ मैं debt के लिए तब सोचूंगा जब उसका EPS मेरे इक्विटी वाले ऑल्टरनेटिव के साथ मैच हो, तभी आई कैन थिंक ऑफ दैट. उसके पहले तो आई कैन नेवर थिंक ऑफ दैट. इज एवरीवन फॉलोइंग दिस? दिस इज वेरी क्रूशियल पॉइंट टू अंडरस्टैंड. उन्होंने इनडायरेक्टली क्या पूछा पता है? दे हैव आस्क्ड टू कैलकुलेट इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट. दे हैव आस्क्ड टू कैलकुलेट व्हाट? इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट. At 15 lakh I am very sure that I have to go for equity only because it is generating maximum EPS. Now someone is saying as a financial manager आप second best alternative means debt के लिए कब सोचोगे? As a financial manager he will say कि जब उसका EPS ये alternative 3 के साथ मैच होगा ना, या when EPS of alternative 1 and alternative 2 is same, तब मैं सोचूंगा to go for second best alternative. Understood? So indirectly they have asked here to calculate indifference point. Indifference point between because indifference point is that point जहां फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता वो अल्टरनेटिव 1 सिलेक्ट करे, ऑल्टरनेटिव 3 सिलेक्ट करे, वो डेट वाला सिलेक्ट करे या इक्विटी वाला सिलेक्ट करे, एट दैट पॉइंट उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. बट जब तक आप इनडिफरेंस पॉइंट तक नहीं आओगे ना, तब तक फर्क पड़ेगा. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? So indirectly they have asked to calculate indifference point between alternative 1, that is debt, and alternative 3, that is equity. Okay, everyone followed this? If you have any doubt, don't hesitate, please ask. Anyone, if you have any doubt, don't hesitate, please ask. समझा सबको? Everyone understood this? Can I move forward now? हम देखो बातों बातों में हम सेकेंड लर्निंग ऑब्जेक्टिव में आ गए, कैलकुलेशन ऑफ इनडिफरेंस पॉइंट, एंड ऐसी बातों बातों में हमारा पूरा एफएम रिवाइज हो जाएगा. ओके, कैन आई से indifference point is that point where EPS of both the plan is same. Here EPS of plan 1 is equal to EPS of plan 3. Now हमने जो EPS, see there are two ways to calculate EPS. One way is to prepare this entire format, this vertical statement बनाओ पूरा EBIT से EPS तक का. One way is this, like prepare a format. Second way is ये format में से you derive some formula. From the format you devise a formula. Can I say the formula would be like this: EBIT minus interest is nothing but EBT. Yes or no? अच्छा, उसमें से if I multiply this by 1 minus T, the resultant figure would be earnings after tax. Yes or no? Less preference dividend. Less preference dividend. Will be my earnings for equity shareholders, and if I divide this by number of equity shares, can I say I will get the EPS? See, this is the formula that we have devised from the above format. Are you getting this? EBIT minus interest. What is EBIT minus interest? What is EBIT minus interest? Can I see EBT? तो इतना पोर्शन क्या हो गया? EPS of alternative 1 is equal to EPS of alternative 3. See, the formula of EPS is EBIT minus interest. When I say from this table, we reached till here, we started from EBIT, we subtracted interest. Can I say we reached till here? Now after EBT, we subtract the tax, हम tax minus कर दे. So I can write this way also. EBIT minus interest multiply by 1 minus T will give you this figure, will give you earnings after tax, will give you what? This figure. So हम यहाँ तक पहुंच गए. इसमें से if we subtract preference dividend, when I say we reach till here earnings for equity shareholders, so numerator is done, and if we divide by number of equity shares, we get EPS. Yes or no? So this is the formula that is devised from the above format only. Same way the formula of EPS for alternative 3 would be same again. 1 minus T less preference dividend divided by number of equity shares. Now EBIT we don't know, so we will substitute it by X. Tell me what is the amount of interest under alternative 1? Can I say it is 840, 8,40,000? Yes or no? This is the interest amount in alternative 1, and in alternative 2 it is 3,60,000. So 8,40,000, 1 minus t, 1 minus 0.4. Do we have any preference dividend in alternative 1? No. So it would be 0. Divided by number of equity shares, 8 lakh in case of alternative 1. Under alternative 3, EBIT, we don't know because we have to find indifference point. Interest under alternative 3 is 3,60,000. 1 minus 0.4 less 0 divided by 10,50,000. Can you help me in finding the value of x? You are very expert in finding the x's value. I know that. बोलो कितना आया मेरा x? Please solve this mathematic equation and tell me what is the amount of EBIT. Sir, in point 1, if it was written that there is increase in profitability, agar if there is increase in profitability, then we would take the revised or new EBIT. Let's say in question it is said that after expansion program it results in increase in EBIT by 2 lakh. तो हमारा नया EBIT कितना हो जाता? 15 lakh the original one and 2 lakh the new one. So 17 lakh would be our revised EBIT in that case. Understood, Shoaib? Okay, EBIT is 2376, means 23,76,000, correct? X is equal to EBIT is equal to 23,76,000. So this is the indifference point between plan 1 and 3. इसका मतलब क्या? If my company's EBIT is at 2376, तो मैं कोई भी प्लान सिलेक्ट करूं, ऑल्टरनेटिव 1 डेट वाला लू या ऑल्टरनेटिव 3 इक्विटी वाला लू, मुझे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. आर यू गेटिंग दिस एवरीवन? So if my EBIT is 23,76,000, I am repeating again, then I can think of option or the second best alternative. तब तक तो मेरे माइंड में सिर्फ इक्विटी रहेगा. Are you getting this? So can I say my EBIT should be increased by minimum of 8,76,000. तब जाके मैं सेकेंड ऑल्टरनेटिव के बारे में सोच सकता हूं. Are you getting this? Minimum, my EBIT should be increased by 8,76,000. See, existing is 15. If my EBIT is now increased by 876, then I can think of alternative debt wala. Are you getting this? तब तक तो my decision would be go for equity, go for equity, go for equity. 15 lakh हुआ, go for equity. 16 lakh, go for equity. 17 lakh, go for equity. 18 lakh, go for equity. 19 lakh EBIT, go for equity. 20 lakh EBIT, go for equity. 21 lakh EBIT, go for equity. 22 lakh EBIT, go for equity. 23 lakh EBIT, go for equity. 23.76 lakh EBIT. Now you can think of the second best alternative. Are you following? Now you can think I can go for that also because of my EPS is same under both the case. अब मुझे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Hope everyone understood this. Online participants, students, did you understand this? So I have to increase my company's EBIT by minimum of 8,76,000 if I want to think of the second best alternative. अगर मुझे second alternative के बारे में सोचना है, तो एज अ फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर पहले मुझे 8,76,000 से मुझे मेरा EBIT बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. तब जाके मैं सोच सकता हूं. तब तक तो मैं सोच भी नहीं सकता. At 16 lakh, I would not think of second best alternative. At 19 lakh, I would not think of second best alternative. At 23 lakh, I would not think of second best alternative. Understood, everyone? The concept of indifference point. Any queries till here? Please respond yes or no at least. Okay, clear. Om Krishna Gupta. He is very clear. He is sorted. Can we move to the next part? See, we will try to solve as many practical problems as possible. But यहाँ तक any queries, any question? That's perfect. That sounds perfect. Okay, so let's come to now question number 1. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, that's good to hear. Let's come to question number 1 now. So our learning objective 1, evaluation of different financing plan and selection of the best one. We have learned that. Second learning objective, indifference point. उसका मतलब क्या होता है? We have learned that. And how to solve that? We have learned that. Now let's try to solve more and more practical problems so that it gets more clear. INA Limited is considering a new project which requires capital investment of 9 CR. Interest on term loan is 12%. Corporate tax is 30%. Calculate the point of indifference for the project considering the debt equity ratio insisted by the financing agencies being 2:1. क्या पूछा इस क्वेश्चन में? This is question number 1 module. We have to calculate indifference point. Can I say to calculate indifference point at least I need 2 alternatives? हम 2 alternative को कंपेयर करेंगे तभी जाके हमें इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट मिलेगा. Yes or no? Correct. So here we need to first find out which are the 2 alternatives available in the question. पहले तो amount of capital investment is 9 CR. So amount of funds required would be 9 CR. Bolo, tell me which are the 2 alternatives available? Which are the 2 plans available? Plan A. Plan A, they have specifically said in the question that debt equity ratio insisted by the financing agency is 2:1. Means company financing agency के पास गई होगी. Financing agency means bank, or I can say financial institution के पास गई होगी. Means कहने से indirectly they have said that company wants to borrow some funds from the bank or financial institutions. So alternative 1 is raising through debt. But हम अब ऐसा सोचो, एज अ फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर आप गए बैंक के पास, आपने बोला मुझे आई नीड अ फंड ऑफ 9 CR एंड बैंक सेड I would not provide 9 CR entirely. You have to maintain a debt equity ratio of 2:1. So bank alternative 1 is debt equity mix 9 CR into 2/3 through debt and 9 CR into 1/3 through equity. 1/3 through equity. When I say bank will say I will just provide you 6 crore of 9 crore and baki ka 3 crore you have to bring your own funds. So this is plan A. Now what about plan B? What about plan B? Has question mentioned anything about plan B? Students, has question mentioned anything about plan B? No, no sir, no. So in that case, if plan is not specified, it is always assumed that entire funds would be raised through equity. Owner will bring his own funds. This is plan B. Unless otherwise specified, it is always assumed that investment is from own fund. Are you getting this? Everyone understood? In absence of information on plan B, it is by default assumption, not in just academic point of view, even in practical life. It is always assumed कि it is from owner's fund. If I ask you, like, you have bought a new house at 1 CR and you don't clarify anything, then everyone will assume this only, that आपने खुद के पैसे से अपना घर लिया है. Are you getting this? आपने खुद के पैसे से अपना घर लिया है, unless there is some specifications. So these are the two plans, correct? And we have to calculate indifference point, and we know the formula of indifference point. Indifference point is EPS of, is that point of EBIT where EPS of plan A is equal to EPS of plan B. At what level of EBIT my EPS of plan A will be equal to EPS of plan B. Again, we will write down the formula of calculating EPS. It is nothing but EBIT minus interest 1 minus T less preference dividend divided by number of equity shares. This is for plan A, is equal to EBIT minus interest 1 minus T less preference dividend divided by number of equity shares in plan B. This is for plan A. And this is for plan B. Hope everyone understood this. Acha, now, did they specify anything about the share price at which it is to be issued? कितने प्राइस पे हमें शेयर इशू करना है, ऐसा कहीं पे भी बोला है? ऐसा have they specified in the question? No, not anywhere. So you are free to assume any face value. You can take 100, you can take 1000, you can take 10, you can take 1 lakh, you can take 1 CR, anything. You are free to assume anything. Answer would not change in either of the case. Here we will assume face value of 100 because 100 is our favorite number. Okay? We will assume FP of 100. So if we assume FP of 100, so can I say यहाँ पे 3 CR divided by 100 would be my number of shares? Yes or no? 3 lakh shares and here 9 lakh shares. So let's calculate indifference point. X. We don't know the EBIT. Interest under alternative 1. Can I say interest would be 6 crore, pay 12%. Interest on loan is 12%. Yes or no? 12% debt. So 6 CR pay 12%. 72 lakhs. To save some space, I am writing this in lakhs. 72 lakhs. 1 minus tax. What is the tax rate? Tax rate is 30%. 1 minus 0.3. I am directly writing this as 0.7. There is no preference dividend, so nothing to worry about that. And number of equity shares. Here it would be 3 divided by 3 CR divided by 100. 3 lakh shares. X. Under alternative 2, there would not be any interest because entire funds is raised through equity. Multiply by 0.7. There is no preference dividend in alternative B as well. And divide by 9 lakh shares. Again, experts, please calculate the value of X. Your favorite task. $1.08 CR. 08 CR. Everyone 1.08 CR सबका है. Okay, 1 crore 8 lakh. That is correct. See, our task is not just to calculate EBIT. आपने ये calculate कर लिया, you will get full marks. That is correct. But you need to interpret the meaning of this calculation as well. ये जो 1.08 CR आया, उसका मतलब क्या निकालोगे? It means if my company's EBIT is 1.08 CR, if I select plan A or plan B, मुझे कुछ भी फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. My EPS would be same. Are you getting this? Interpretation is very necessary. Interpretation or understanding the concept is very necessary. Calculation is very easy. बट वो कैलकुलेट हमने जो किया उसका मतलब समझना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एनी क्वेश्चंस स्टूडेंट्स इन क्वेश्चन 1? बोलो कोई सवाल. अच्छा कोई जवाब? एवरीवन इज अंडरस्टैंडिंग? प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड यार. Clear, okay. I will repetitively ask whether cleared or not, huh? Because I want everyone that their concepts are through. So now let's solve question number 2. Question number 2. Silo Limited is considering two alternative financing plans as follows. Plan A which consists of equity and debt. Plan B consists of equity and preference. The indifference point between the plan is 480. Up to 1.808 CR, my EBIT will be same. EBIT is only 1.08 CR. My EBIT is only 1.08 CR. मतलब let's say if my company का earnings before interest and tax is 1.08 CR, then I can go for any plan. This is what it means. I can go for plan A or plan B. This is what it means. Why? Because दोनों के plan at 1.08 CR, my EPS under both the plans would be same. That's why. Up to 1.08 CR नहीं, at 1.08 CR. So in question number 2, they have given the indifference point between the two plans. मतलब इसका मतलब क्या कि अगर कंपनी का अगर Xylo Limited का EBIT is 480, then either you select plan A or plan B. कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा because दोनों में EPS would be same. Correct? But here they have asked calculate the rate on preference shares. हाँ. We have the preference share capital of 4 lakh, but we don't know the dividend amount. Why? Because dividend rate is not given in the question. But they have given indifference point. क्या दिया है? Indifference point. Indifference point between two plan is how much? 4,80,000. So again, indifference point is what? EPS under plan A will always be equal to EPS under plan B. EBIT less interest 1 minus T less preference dividend divided by number of equity shares is equal to EBIT less interest 1 minus T less preference dividend divided by number of equity shares for plan B. Now we know indifference point is 480. So can I say 480 is nothing but EBIT that is given in the question? Because at 480, at EBIT of 480, my EPS under both the plans would be same. Now what is interest amount under plan 1? 48,000. 4 lakh pay 12%. Yes or no? 48,000. Tax rate is 30%. Means 1 minus 0.3, that is 0.7. There is no preference dividend. Number of equity shares under option 1 is 1 share is of 10 each and 8 lakh is my equity share capital. So can I say it is 80,000 is equal to EBIT, we know it is 480. Under option 2 we don't have any interest, so 0. 1 minus 0.3 Is 0.7. Preference dividend is the amount that we need to calculate. So we will assume preference dividend to be X divided by number of equity shares. Under second case as well, it would be 80,000. So again, using the concept of mathematical equation, can you find the value of X, that is nothing but preference dividend, in this question? बोलो कितना होगा? No, first give me the amount of preference dividend, then we will go for rate. Yes, Srini ka question, at indifference point we can select any project from the two. Yes, obviously indifference point का मतलब ही वो है. At indifference point, EPS under both the plans would be same, correct? If EPS is same, the wealth of the shareholders would be same under both the plans. So you can go for any plan. So the objective of indifference point is that only you can select any plan. Yes, correct. 33,600. Everyone, preference dividend amount is 33,600. So this is in rupees. They have asked to calculate in percentage. So can I say it would be 33,600 divided by 8 lakh? 33,600 divided by, no, sorry, it's not 8 lakh. It's 4 lakh. Divided by 4 lakh. Which comes to how much percent? 8.4%. Correct. Which comes to 8.4%. So my preference dividend rate is 8.4%. So again, you first understand the concept. Concept should be very clear in all of your minds. Indifference point is that point of EBIT where EPS is same under both the plan. If EPS is same, the wealth of the shareholders would remain same under both the plan. Then financial manager can go for any plan. उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा प्लान ए ले या प्लान बी ले. Hope this is clear. Hello, any questions in question number 2? Any questions in question number 2? Students? Clear. Sure? Pakka? Now, I would want all of you all to try question 3. Question 3 में भी indifference point ही पूछा है. They have asked indifference point. But I would want or wish that you try it first on yourself. Then I will explain you. Like I am stopping my screen share. I will solve. You can check the answer. And if you have calculated or you have done some mistake, you can ask me. So everyone, please try to solve question 3. Ganesha Limited wala. Sounds perfect to you all? Will you all try? You have right access. What right you have? My screen is not visible to you all, right? Students, any query? Are you able to solve? 10,80,000 is correct answer. 18 lakh is wrong. 18 is not correct. 18 is wrong. Huh? 10.8. 10.8 is correct. Perfect. Everyone is through with this concept of indifference point. Now, if you want to check, if you want to verify your results that EPS is coming same or not under 1080, then let's check that as well. When EBIT is, now let's check that as well, so that your answer is verified. EBIT 1080 under both the alternatives. Interest 0, interest 720, EBT 1080, $360. At 40%, EAT T minus 40%, 648. 16 minus 40%, 216. Reference dividend is 0. So my EAT will only be my earnings for equity shareholders, because my preference dividend, or there is no preference share capital, divided by number of equity shares. In plan A, it would be 6 lakh, and in plan B, it would be 2 lakhs. Is 1.08. 1.08. So you can see EPS under both the plan is coming same. Understood the concept of indifference point? It is at what level of EBIT? How much should be the company's EBIT where EPS is same? Now, to understand the next concept, I would want you all to calculate EPS. I would want you all to calculate EPS. See, we know. See, we know when EBIT is 1080, EPS is same. So we can go for any plan, correct? हमें कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Now I would want you all to calculate EPS when EBIT is, let's say, 15 lakh. This is case 1. Correct? You need to calculate what? EPS under both the plans. Huh? Under both the plans. When EBIT is 15 lakh of the company, and another case is when EBIT is, let's say, 8 lakhs. Can you all try this? Calculate EPS for both the alternatives under two different scenarios. Scenario 1, when EBIT is 15 and when EBIT is 8. This will help me in explaining you the next concept. So that's why I've given you these scenarios. Please everyone calculate EPS under both the alternatives. When EBIT is 15 lakh, this is scenario 1. Calculate EPS under both the alternatives when EBIT is 8 lakhs. This is scenario 2. Number of equity shares outstanding. See, it is given in the question. Alternative 1 is this only. 100% of equity finance by issuing equity shares of 10 each. See, the question is same, just EBIT I have changed. क्वेश्चन तो यही है, क्वेश्चन 3. Just I have changed the EBIT. Case 1, EPS 2.34. But for which alternative? Alternative 1 or alternative 2? You have to calculate for both the alternatives. Plan 1, case 1. Okay. When EBIT is 15 lakh, alternative 1, alternative 2. EPS is how much? 1.5, 2.34. Everyone? Same answer for all? 1.5, 2.34. When EBIT is equal to 8 lakh, alternative 1, alternative 2. 8.24. Are you sure, everyone? Do you want me to solve this? Not 18 lakh, 8 lakh. Second scenario is when EBIT is at 8 lakh. Do you want me to solve this? I will. Easy है. हाँ बट सबका आंसर नहीं आ रहा ना, बोलो ना. When EBIT is 8 lakh, my EPS under alternative one is how much? यार सबका अलग अलग आ रहा है. Let's solve. 0.8 and 0.24. Okay, now there are some common answers. If anyone wants me to solve, then I will help you. हाँ? अच्छा, अपदान का अगेन अलग. It's 0.4 and 0.8. I think we should solve because there is multiple answers. So when EBIT is equal to 15 lakh, oh okay. But then to let's solve because there are multiple answers coming in the chat box. So I will start. My EBIT is 15 lakh, 15 lakh, 8 lakh, 8 lakh. Less interest, alternative 1 0 and alternative 2. It's how much? 30 lakh, 18, 18%. 720. 7.2. 0, 7.2. EBT 15. It's 7.8. 7.8. 8.8 lakh. Correct? Less tax is at 40%. So EAT is 15 minus 40%, 9 lakh. 7.8 minus 40 minus 40%, 4.68 lakh. 8 minus 40%, 4.8. 0.8 minus 40%, 0.48 lakh. Since there is no preference shares, we will divide by number of equity shares. In case alternative one, it would be 6 lakh. 6 lakh. And under alternative 2 lakh. 2 lakh. EPS 1.5. 1.5. 4.68 divided by 2.34. 4.8 divided by 6.8. 0.24. So this is my EPS under different alternatives, under different EBIT, correct? 1.5, 0.8, 0.24. Okay. So if my EBIT is 15 lakh, and if I ask you which alternative you would select, equity wala ki alternative to debt equity mix, can I say when EBIT is 15 lakh, we should go for that alternative which has debt, correct? And when if my company's EBIT becomes 8 lakh, so देखो alternative one is better, means go for that plan which is having more equity. So from this we can draw one inference. What is that inference? कि जब मेरा EBIT, when my EBIT is equal to indifference point, when my EBIT is equal to indifference point, which was 10,80,000, then go for any plan. You go for plan A, go for plan B, doesn't matter. हमें कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता because दोनों में EPS same आ रहा था, correct? When my EBIT is greater than indifference point, which was scenario 1, देखो मेरा EBIT is 15 lakh and my indifference point is 10,80,000. So if my EBIT is greater than indifference point, then go for that plan which has more debt. Go for that plan which has more debt. See, there is one simple logic. Higher the amount of earnings, higher you can bear the risk. There is one person who has just 50,000 for investment and there is one person who has 50 crores of investment. Who will take more risk? Can I say who has 50 crores of investment? He can try to take risk. Yes or no? Are you getting this? Because higher the risk, higher would be the return. Are you getting this? So when EBIT is greater than indifference point, means can I say the earnings is very high, then you can go for higher risk. That is nothing but financial risk. Yes or no? Debt is nothing but financial risk, because with debt comes interest, and with interest will come financial leverage, which is nothing but financial risk. So if you have good earning capacity, then take the risk. Your EPS would be high. Are you getting this? But when your EBIT is less than indifference point, means your earning capacity is not that much. So go for less risk. आपकी capacity नहीं है, then why you are taking risk? Understood? Then go for that plan which has high equity. Did everyone follow this concept? If the company has good earning capacity, which was 15 lakh year, then take the risk, go for debt. Take the financial risk, because with debt comes interest, and interest is nothing but financial leverage, financial risk. But your earning capacity is not good, you're not earning much, then don't take risk, go for equity. Understood? So this is the inference that we can draw from this. Everyone clear? The concept is very simple. At indifference point, go for any plan. But if EBIT is greater than indifference point, take the risk. Means select that plan which has more debt. On the other side, when EBIT is less than indifference point, means you don't have that earning capacity, then don't take the risk. Go for equity only. Go for that plan which has less debt. Here I will write, go for that plan which has equity or less proportion of debt, because with debt will come interest, and interest is a fixed cash outflow, means fixed financial leverage. Show the chart. Yes, this is the chart. So this concept you have to fix it in your छोटा सा brain. You want to capture this, you can capture this as well. This is very important. I again reiterate, understanding the concept is very much important. Understanding the concept is of utmost priority. कैलकुलेशन तो कोई भी कर देगा. 15 लाख पे ईपीएस कितना, 8 लाख पे ईपीएस कितना, एनीवन कैन सॉल्व दैट. बट उससे इन्फ्रेंस निकालना इज आवर टास्क एज अ फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर और एज अ सीएफओ. You want to write it down, you can write it down. You want to take a photo, you can take a photo. You can take a screenshot as well. Let me know once it is done. O for plan. Huh? This is plan. Which has, okay, done everyone till here. All good till here. Any queries? Anyone? Dharmic, clear. Can we move to next practical problem? Somehow, sir, if the economy is downward trajectory, whether the this inference will work out. Downward trajectory means, what do you mean by downward trajectory? Can you explain more clearly to me? See, this analysis is completely from monetary aspect, from financial aspect, and not from any other factors or not from any other considerations. This is purely from financial or from monetary aspects. We are just checking the risk from financial terms. Now, if I tell you, if I want to start a new company in a war prone area, it is giving me a good return, but the risk is high. So these all factors we are not considering here. We are just considering the monetary factors from financial perspective. I want to start, जैसे अभी मैंने बोला, I want to start a new business which is very lucrative, very, very, very much lucrative. But the only condition is you have to start it in Israel or in a war-prone area. So can I say there is risk to my existence only in Israel? But that factors we are not considering here. Yes, you have joined after some days, but financial capital structure decision is started today only. Before this, we haven't started. So this is not a valid excuse or a valid reason that I have joined after a few days. Then now let's take a problem on, I would say, financial break-even point, because that is that concept we need to. This is the financial break-even point. There are more questions on financial break-even point. So as I explained you earlier, financial break-even point is that point where there is no profit or no loss to equity shareholders. It is a situation or a point of no profit, no loss, but to whom? To equity shareholders. To whom? To equity shareholders. In simple terms, it is that point, it is that level of EBIT where EPS is 0. Are you getting this? Means how much? Again, there is some problem in screen sharing. Equity shareholders. No profit, no loss. Means how much should be my EPS? Sorry, how much should be my company's EBIT, which results in nil EPS? Are you getting this? मेरे कंपनी का EBIT कितना होना चाहिए that it generates zero earnings to my equity shareholders? So you would have learned this. There are two ways to calculate financial break-even point. Either you start reverse, you do reverse engineering, you go for reverse engineering means EPS से start करो, EPS 0 लेके you go upwards and calculate EBIT. जैसे फॉर्मेट है ना हमारा, EPS is 0, then you go upwards, add preference dividend, add tax, add interest, and you will get EBIT. So this is reverse engineering method, using the format only, preparing the income statement only, but going reverse, starting from EPS rather than EBIT. And second, you know the formula. Formula is financial break-even point is nothing but interest plus preference dividend divided by 1 minus T. This you would have learned in your regular lectures. This you would have learned in your regular classes. This is revisionary classes. So I'm not going very much detail into this formula because you have already learned, but I'm just mentioning or recapping or revising you the formula. The formula is interest plus preference dividend divided by 1 minus T. So there are two ways to solve financial break-even point. One is you go reverse engineering, start from EPS and reach to EBIT. Second, simply apply this formula. Simply apply this formula. Correct? So let's take one practical problem and see how financial break-even point is calculated. Come to page number 5.38. Come to page number 5.38. Question number 12. I think this would be a very 5.38, question number 12. Everyone, can you see the question? Best of Luck Limited, a profit-making company, has paid up capital of 100 lakhs consisting of 10 lakhs ordinary shares of 10 each. So this is the existing equity share capital. They have 10 lakh equity shares of 10 each. Currently, it is earning an annual pre-tax profit of 60 lakhs. So current EBIT is how much? 60 lakhs. Current. This is as of now. The company shares are listed and quoted in the range of 50 to 80. Now the management wants to diversify the production and has approved a project which will cost 50 lakh. Which will cost how much? 50 lakhs. And which is expected to yield a pre-tax income of 40 lakhs per annum. See, understand the question. Now management is taking a project of 50 lakh. They will invest in the project and obviously they will earn some return from that project. Yes or no? So on the investment of 50 lakhs, company is earning pre-tax income of additional 40 lakhs. Current profit is 60 lakhs. But by taking this project, additional 40 lakhs EBIT is generated. Are you getting this? Is everyone following? To raise this additional capital, the following options are available. Option number one, to issue equity shares for the additional amount. That is, you issue equity shares for 50 lakhs. It is expected that new shares can be sold at a premium of 15. So can I say in this case, premium is 15, face value is 10, so my issue price would be 25? Yes or no? Correct? So here, under alternative 1, under plan 1, 50 lakhs is raised through equity shares. But if you are raising through equity shares, you have to issue shares at some market price, at some price. That price is 10 of face value and premium of 15. 25 is the share price. Second alternative, go for non-convertible debentures of 100 each for entire amount at 16% rate of interest. Means 50 लाख आपने पूरे डिबेंचर से रेज किए and one debenture is of 100 rupees. Third is mix of equity and mix of debt. In this case, the company can issue shares at a premium of 40. So premium is 40, not share price. Premium is 40. So can I say issue price would be 10 plus 40, 50 rupees? Yes or no? Yes or yes? Is everyone following? Participants, students, please respond. आपकी हाँ समझा कि नहीं? Yes, okay. Advise which option is most suitable to raise the additional capital, keeping in mind that management wants to maximize the earnings per share. So we know that the objective of management is always to maximize the EPS, and we will select that plan which has highest EPS. But apart from this question, I would also want us to solve or to calculate financial break-even point for each plan. Financial break-even plan point for each of this plan. ठीक है? इतना तो हम कैलकुलेट करेंगे. We will evaluate the different plans and select the best one. But apart from that, we will also calculate financial break-even point for each plan. ठीक है? So there are 3 plans available. Plan 1, Plan 2, and Plan 3. First, we have to evaluate the different plans and select the best one. Means we have to calculate EPS. So to calculate EPS, we will prepare our format, our income statement. There is no preference dividend. So divide by number of equity shares, which will give me EPS. Okay? Now tell me, our income statement starts with EBIT. Bolo, what should be my EBIT? 40 lakh, 40 lakh, or 60 lakh, or 100 lakhs? Tell me, what should be my EBIT? Shall I take my EBIT as 60 lakhs, which is the existing EBIT? Or shall I take just 40 lakh, which is EBIT on just the new expansion or new production? Or I should take both. I should add both. 100 lakhs, correct. We are calculating EPS of entire company and not just that expansion project. Understood? We are calculating EPS of the entire company. तो प्रोजेक्ट लेने के बाद कंपनी का EBIT टोटल हो जाएगा 100 lakhs. Students, do your mistake. Many students just take 40 lakhs, ignoring the existing EBIT of 60 lakhs. So please, you don't do this mistake. Now interest. Under which alternative I need to subtract interest? Tell me. Is there any existing debt in the company's capital structure? There is no existing debt. So we will just subtract interest under alternative 2 and 3. Yes or no? Are you getting this? Under alternative 2, entire 50 lakh is raised through 16% debentures. So 50 lakh pay 16% comes to 8 lakh. So plan 1 is entire equity, so no interest. Plan 2 is entire debt, so it is 8 lakhs and ये 8 lakhs कैसे आया? It is 50 lakhs पे how much percent is given? 16%. Correct? And third, correct? This is very disturbing here. एट लैक्स एंड 8 लाख कैसे आएगा? तो 50 लाख पे 16%. And under alternative 3 of the 50 lakhs, 25 lakh is through equity. So can I say 25 lakh would be through debt? So 25 lakh pay 16%, which is 4 lakh. Here it would be 25 lakh pay 16%, which comes to 4 lakh. Hope everyone is following. So my EBIT under EBT under alternative 100, 92 and 96. Tax rate is at 50%. Oh. So my earnings after tax would be 50 lakh, would be 46 lakh, be 48 lakhs. Correct? Yes or no? Is everyone following? Please respond. I think you all have slept now. Only Om Prakash is active now. Number of equity shares under alternative 1. यहाँ पे अगेन मिस्टेक होने के चांसेस. The existing capital structure consists of 10 lakh ordinary shares. So 10 lakh तो सब में ही हो गए. This is very important. The existing capital structure consists of 10 lakh ordinary shares. So 10 lakh is for all the plans. But additionally, new equity shares, new issue of equity shares would be under plan 1 and plan 3. So under plan 1, 50 lakhs, I would raise it through equity, correct? And at what price? At 25. 25 कैसे आया? तो 10 is the face value and premium is 15. So additional shares is how much? 20 lakh. And ये 20 lakh कैसे आया था? Can I say I have to raise 50 lakh and my share price, my issue price would be 25 and not 50. Na? 15 is the premium. In alternative 3, I will raise 25 lakh through equity and at an issue price of 50 and not 40. 40 is the premium. Sorry, it's 2 lakh, not 20 lakhs. 50 lakh divided by 25 is 2 lakhs. Is 2 lakhs. And 25 lakh divided by 50,000. In this case, it is 0.5 lakh. So my EPS under plan 1 comes to 50 lakh divided by 12, 4.17. My EPS comes to 4.17. Here it will be 4.6 and here it will be 48 divided by 10.5, 4.57. So I should go for alternative 2 because it is generating maximum EPS to my company. Everyone followed this? Any questions still here? Any questions in calculating the interest amount or any questions in calculating the number of equity shares? Everyone, Pakka? So we should go for alternative or plan 2 because it is generating maximum EPS and maximum EPS means maximum wealth to the shareholders. Now let's calculate indifference point. Let's calculate what? Indifference point. Sorry, not indifference point, financial break-even point. Let's calculate financial break-even point. So financial break-even point का formula we know. It is nothing but interest plus preference dividend divided by 1 minus T. So financial break-even point for plan 1. Plan 1 में बताओ, is there any interest? Is there any interest? There is no interest and there is no preference dividend as well. So my financial break-even point would be zero interest plus zero preference dividend. It is zero. Financial break-even point under plan 2. It would be, there is some interest. Interest is 8 lakh and preference dividend is 0. So when I say it would be 8 lakh plus 0, that is 8 lakh. And financial break-even point in plan 3, it would be 4 lakh plus 0. 4 lakh plus 0 because there is no preference share capital in either of the. So 4 lakh. And if you want to verify the results, you can verify as well. Take EBIT at 8 lakh and calculate EPS for plan 2. You can calculate. Financial break-even point of plan 2 is 8 lakh, right? So here instead of 100 lakhs, you can take 8 lakh and your EPS would come to 0. Are you getting this? And for plan 3, it is 4 lakh. So instead of 100 lakhs, take EBIT as 4 lakhs. Then it will result in 0 EPS. Understood, everyone? We can take PAT as preference dividend in financial break-even point. No, unless there is any preference share capital given in the question, how can you take PAT as preference dividend? That is absolutely wrong. Profit after tax is the profit available to preference shareholders and equity shareholders. अब उसमें से we will give preference dividend if there are preference shareholders in the capital structure. But if there are no preference shareholders in the capital structure, then entire profit after tax would be equity owners ka profit. They would enjoy the fruits. So unless question is not specified about preference share capital, then you don't need to take any preference dividend. Understood? Hey, is everyone following Pakka? Online, please, other than Om Prakash, please respond. Arjun, Sukena, then Abdan, Dharmik, be interactive. Komalpreet, Manish, Praveen, Srini, Sunil. Is everyone following? Okay. Yeah, okay. So please respond. So I would give you one question and you need to calculate financial break-even point for that. अब उसमें प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड दो वैसा क्वेश्चन लेते हैं. Okay, let's solve question 4. Practical problem question 4. This is a complete package question. Complete package. इसमें objective 1 भी cover हो जाएगा. That is evaluation of different plans and selecting the best one. Second, financial break-even point भी पूछा है. And third, indifference point भी पूछा है. So this is a complete overall package question. Question 4, page number. Question 4, page number. 5.52. ठीक है. Let's solve this complete package question. And किसी को कोई भी डाउट हो, any queries, you can stop me in the middle. You can ask in the chat box. You can ask in this query portal as well. Sir, PD below 1 minus T for what reason? Because preference dividend. See, the reason is this. See, check the formula. Formula क्या है? Interest plus preference dividend 1 minus T. Can you see? Interest is before tax. It is always before tax. Yes or no? Interest is always before tax. But preference dividend is always after tax. Preference dividend is distributed always after tax. So to make it comparable with interest, we bring preference dividend to before tax. Are you getting this? Because interest के बाद there would be some tax outflow also. So preference dividend is to bring, this is after tax. This preference dividend is after tax. If we divide it by 1 minus T, it will be before tax. Means उसमें से tax की effect निकल जाएगी. So that's why we divide it by 1 minus T. Because tax outflow भी होगा ना question में, इसलिए. So we will let's solve this question. Let's solve question 4. It will be like complete package question and you will understand it more clearly. See, this here we have solved financial break-even point through formula. I will show you the reverse engineering method as well. So in that case, you will understand more clearly. We will solve it through reverse engineering now. Ganpati Limited is considering 3 financing plans. The key information is as follows. Total investment to be raised 2 lakh. Plan A is 100% equity, means 2 lakh सारा equity से. Plan B 50 equity 50 debt. Plan C 50 equity 50 preference. Cost of debt 8%, cost of preference 8%, tax rate 50%. Equity shares of the face value 10 will be issued at a premium of 10 per share. Means issue price here is not 10, it is 20. 10 of face value and 10 of premium. Expected EBIT is given 80,000. Calculate earnings per share and calculate financial break-even point. See, let's focus just on point 1 and point 2. Let's focus just on EPS and financial break-even point. ठीक है? Plan A. Again, to calculate EPS, हमें पूरा format बनाना पड़ेगा. We need to prepare the format of income statement. EBIT less interest, EBT less tax, EAT, and now in this question we have preference dividend as well. So we will subtract that. This gives me earnings for equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares and I will get EPS. Okay? So let's start. Expected EBIT is given in the question. It is 80,000. So this will be my starting point. I will start with 80,000. Now interest. Interest will come only in plan B because debt is only in plan B. So plan A, plan C में no interest. Plan B में how much would be the interest amount? Can I say I need funds of 2 lakhs? उसमें से 50% is through debt. So I will raise 1 lakh through debt at 8%. Correct? So that is 8,000. So interest 8,000. So my EBT is 80,000, 72,000, 80,000. Tax rate is how much? Tax rate again 50%. So my earnings after tax would be 40,000, 36,000 in this case, and 80,000 in this case. Now there are preference shareholders as well in this question, and it is in alternative C. So preference share capital, again I will raise 1 lakh through preference share capital under plan C at 8%. When I say plan 1, plan B, no preference dividend, but here it would be 8,000. So earnings for equity shareholders 40,000, 36,000. So sorry, here it is not 40,000, here it will be 40,000 after tax, and here 30,000. Correct? Number of equity shareholders. Under alternative 1, entire 2 lakh is raised through equity shares. Entire 2 lakh is raised through equity shares. And at what price it is raised? The issue price is also given. Face value 10 and premium 10. So issue price is 20. Here under plan B, 1 lakh is raised through equity at a issue price of 20. And under plan C, again 1 lakh is raised through equity at a issue price of 20. Correct? So 2 lakh divided by 20. 10,000 shares. 5,000 shares. And 5,000 shares. So EPS is equal to 4. 7.2, 6.4. Any queries still here? This is what we have been doing since start of this session. Any queries still here? Anyone? Pakka? Can I move to second point, which is financial break-even point? No question still here. Okay. So let's now calculate the second part of the question. So first part is done. Earnings per share. They haven't asked to select which plan we need to. They haven't asked about selection of the plan. So we'll just calculate EPS and leave it as far as first point is concerned. Now second point, financial break-even point. First, let's solve financial break-even point through our formula. And financial break-even point is calculated for each of the plan. सब plan के लिए calculate होगा. बोलो plan A के लिए is there any interest, is there any preference dividend under plan A? कुछ भी नहीं है. कुछ भी नहीं है. Interest is 0, preference dividend is 0. So 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. ठीक है? Plan A is done. Financial break-even point for plan B. Interest है 8,000. Correct? Interest है, preference dividend नहीं है. Interest is there 8,000, but preference dividend is not there. So my financial break-even point for plan B would be 8,000. Financial break-even point for plan C. Plan C में interest नहीं है, but preference dividend है 8,000, and we need to divide it by 1 minus T. कितना आया? 8,000 divided by 0.5. which comes to 16,000. ठीक है? So this is the answer of financial break-even point through formula. ये तो formula हो गई. Correct, 16,000. Now let's solve. Let's calculate financial break-even point doing reverse engineering. हम EPS 0 से start करेंगे और EBIT तक पहुंचेंगे for each of the plan. Let's calculate financial break-even point for plan A, but using reverse engineering. Okay, not for plan A, but for all the plans. We can calculate simultaneously only. Let me just save this first because let's calculate financial break-even point using reverse engineering. Okay, this is plan A, plan B, plan C. Again, format will remain same. I think this is the 10th time I'm writing this format. Huh? Earnings for equity divided by number of equity shares, which is nothing, which will give you EPS. And we know financial break-even point means no profit, no loss for equity. Means can I say EPS सब में zero होगा, तभी no profit, no loss for equity होगा? Yes or no? So can I say earnings for equity shareholders भी zero होगा? यही तो फाइनेंशियल ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट है कि अर्निंग्स फॉर इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर इज जीरो. करेक्ट. नाउ आई एम गोइंग रिवर्स. आई एम स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट. फर्स्ट केस में प्लान ए में इज देयर एनी प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड? नो. इन प्लान 2 इज देयर एनी प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड? नो. इन प्लान 3 इट इज 8,000. व्हेन आई से माय अर्निंग्स आफ्टर टैक्स वुड बी zero in first case, earnings after tax zero in second case, and here it would be 8,000. Yes or no? Is everyone following this? उल्टा जा रहा हो और कुछ नहीं कर रहा हो. जीवन में उल्टा जा रहा हो बस. Tax. If earnings after tax is zero, then this earnings before tax would also be zero. Yes or no? देखो, this is 100, this is 50, so this would be 50. We are going reverse. समझा? अगर earnings after tax is zero, if we cross multiply 0 into 100 divided by 50, 0 in this case. Again, earnings before tax under plan B would be 0. Yes or no? But under plan C, this is 50, this is 100, and tax is 50. So what would be my earnings before tax? Can I say it would be 16,000 year? Are you getting this? सबको समझ रहे? उल्टा जा रहे हैं, रिवर्स जा रहे हैं. Under plan A, interest is again 0. So my resultant EBIT would be 0. Here, interest is how much? Under plan B, interest is 8,000. So can I say my resultant EBIT, reverse जाने पे मेरा EBIT कितना आया? 8,000. That is my financial break-even point. Under plan C, interest is 0. So the resultant EBIT going reverse is 16,000. Understood? जिसका क्वेश्चन था ना वो PD डिवाइड बाय 1 माइनस टी क्यों करना है? सो टू कम फ्रॉम आफ्टर टैक्स टू बिफोर टैक्स हमें डिवाइड बाय 1 माइनस टी करना होता है. So logic is this. Logic is reverse engineering. But formula is a very short way. It is a devised mechanism. It is a very short way of solving. फॉर्मूला इसी रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग से डिराइव हुई है. फॉर्मूला इज डिराइव फ्रॉम दिस रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग ओनली, because we cannot keep on preparing this statement again and again, right? There has to be a short and quickest way to solve. So we have devised a formula. So जिसकी क्वेरी थी, I guess Abdan had this query कि y divided by 1 minus t. So we are coming from after tax to before tax. So you need to divide it by 1 minus t. Understood? The logic of financial break-even point is reverse engineering only, but we need to devise some quickest way to solve. As a financial manager, our task is to solve very fatak se. So I hope everyone has understood the concept of evaluating different plans and selecting the best one, then concept of indifference point, then concept of financial break-even point. Then we also understood कि अगर EBIT indifference point से ज्यादा होता है, then we should go for which alternative. अगर EBIT indifference point से कम है, then we should select which alternative. This all things we have learned, right? And I hope there is no questions, no queries till here. Let's solve part 3 of this question. Part 3 says what? Part 3 is asking about indicate if any of the plans dominate. Yes, obviously, we can see that plan B is dominating both the plans. Plan B has highest EPS, right? So it is dominating both these plans. So plan B is dominating both the plans and it should be selected. Company should go for plan B. So part 3. Why we have taken rupees 20 for debentures and preference shares? कहाँ पे? 20 is the issue price. देखो question में issue price is equity shares of the face value 10 will be issued at a premium of 10 per share. When I say my issue price will be 20 ना, मैं जब इक्विटी इशू करूंगा तब उनसे एक शेयर के पीछे मैं 20 रुपया लूंगा. 10 is the face value and 10 is the premium. Premium cannot be my issue price. Issue price is face value plus premium. So that's why I've taken 20. In all the cases, I've taken 20. Not just preference and debt, but in all the cases. Hope your query is solved. So that is for equity. Yes, that is for equity only, na? This 2 lakh divided by 20 is for equity. ये 10,000 के लिए कैलकुलेशन किया है. ये 10,000 कैसे आया तो उसका वर्किंग है. ये 2 lakh डिवाइड बाय 20. ये 5,000 कैसे आया तो उसका कैलकुलेशन है. ये 1 lakh डिवाइड बाय 20. होप दिस इज क्लियर. We are calculating number of equity shares. For that we have calculated. Now third part is if any of the plans dominate. So yes, plan B dominates both the plans, that is A and C, as array. How can it can be price of debentures? See, this is earnings for equity shareholders. 40,000 is earnings for equity shareholders, correct? तो उसको हम डिवाइड बाय डिबेंचर्स, नंबर ऑफ डिबेंचर्स करेंगे कि नंबर ऑफ इक्विटी शेयर्स करेंगे? We have earnings for equity shareholders. 40,000 is my earnings that I have to distribute to different equity shareholders. I will divide it by number of equity shares. Yeah, I will divide it by number of debentures. So it is to be, I will divide it by number of equity shares only, na? So, and for that equity shares, I will take equity share ka issue price as EPS is maximum, correct? And now they have also asked, what they have asked to calculate compute the EBIT range among the plans for indifference. So indirectly they have asked to calculate indifference point. So I guess you would have studied that indifference point at a time can only be calculated between two plans. So first indifference point would be between plan A and plan B. Second indifference point would be between plan B and plan C. Plan B and plan C. And third indifference point would be between plan A and plan C. ठीक है, हमें तीन इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट कैलकुलेट करना है इस क्वेश्चन में. वी हैव टू सॉल्व or calculate three indifference point between plan A and B, between plan A and C, and between plan B and C. So for you right now, I will solve for plan A and B, and homework में you can solve for plan BC and plan AC. Again. No, they haven't specified in the question कि आपको plan B और C का करना है. So you have to calculate for all the plans, for all the different alternatives. Plan AB, plan BC, plan BC. They haven't specified ना कि calculate only for highest EPS. ऐसा तो बोला नहीं है उन्होंने. They haven't specified in the question that calculate indifference point only for highest EPS plans. So we need to calculate for all the plans because question is unclear. अरे यार. Okay, so let's calculate indifference point between plan A and B. And now I am not writing the formula, I am directly calculating using the formula. EBIT less interest. Interest in plan A is 0. 1 minus 0.5. Preference dividend is nil. Divide by number of equity shares. Number of equity shares in plan A is 10,000. Is 10,000. Is equal to X minus interest in plan B is 8,000. 1 minus 0.5. Preference dividend is 0. Divide by 5,000. Can you help me in calculating the value of X, which is EBIT? 5152. X 0.5x is equal to 8,000.5. 16,000, correct. So indifference point between plan A and plan B is 16,000. Let's calculate between A and C. Indifference point between plan A and C, not B and C, but between plan A and C. So again, X minus 0 multiply by 0.5 divide by 10,000 is equal to plan B में X, C में X minus interest is 0 multiply by 0.5, but we have preference dividend of 8,000 in plan C divided by 5,000. Therefore, X is equal to EBIT comes to how much? So indifference point between plan A and C. Again 5. This is 5152. 0.5. 1 minus 8,000. कितना है? 16, 32,000 everyone. So for plan B, plan A and plan C, it is 32,000. And now I want you all to try for plan B and C. आप खुद से try करो. Please try it on your own and tell me whether there is any indifference point between plan B and C. Indifference point between plan B and plan C. बताओ. Try. Everyone, please try. Om Prakash is saying there is no indifference point between plan B and C. Is that correct? Okay, Komal Preet is also having same opinion that there is no indifference point between plan C. Others, please try. Even if you do mistakes, you must try. Don't fear of mistakes. Huh? That's okay. That's absolutely fine. But you must try on your own. So for plan B is okay. Again, Swati is also having same opinion. No indifference point between plan B and C. So let's check that. X, that is correct. There is no indifference point between plan B and C. But let's check that. X minus interest is 8,000.5 divided by 5,000 is equal to X minus 0.5 minus 8,000 divided by 5,000. So this is 1, this is 1. Since the denominator is same in both the cases, there will not be any no homework. I did everything in classwork only. Homework is that you revise these concepts that we have done today and try to solve practical problems or solved problems. This is your homework. Try to solve RTP, try to solve MTP for this chapter. This is your homework. पहले I wanted to give plan BC and plan AC का homework में, but I solved it here only. So there is no indifference point between plan B and C. Between plan B and plan C. Yeah. So everyone, in this today's revisionary lecture, we understood 3 learning objectives. One is first evaluating different financial alternatives and selecting the best one. The best one we know. The best one is that plan that maximizes EPS or that maximizes MPS, because maximum EPS will result into maximum wealth creation of the equity shareholders. Second learning objective was indifference point. Indifference point is that point where EPS under both the plan is same. Means फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर को प्लान ए ले या प्लान बी ले, उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. दिस इज व्हाट इज इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट. बट एट व्हाट लेवल ऑफ ईबीआईटी प्लान ए एंड प्लान बी का ईपीएस सेम आता है, दैट इज इंडिफरेंस पॉइंट. थर्ड, वी लर्न अबाउट फाइनेंशियल ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट. ब्रेक इवन वर्ड का मतलब भी नो, मीनिंग भी नो. इट इज नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस. बट नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस टू whom? No profit no loss to equity shareholders. Understood? So at what level of EBIT, at what amount of EBIT, earnings per share is zero. That is financial break even point. Homework mein you have to try to solve other practical problems. Also try solving some solved problems given in the illustrations in the module. You can try solving MTPs, you can try solving RTPs. So this is homework. Acha, in case of EPS and MPS, then in absence of any information in the question, go for that plan which has highest MPS. Go for that plan which has highest market price. Understood? In absence of any information in the question, go for MPS because market price ज्यादा तो shareholders की wealth ज्यादा ना. Let's say the share price of TCS today is 1500 and after 1 year it becomes 3000. तो कहने से market price बढ़ा तो shareholder की wealth बढ़ेगी. So ultimate objective is to maximize the wealth of the shareholder. So when MPS is there in the question, go for MPS. Select that plan which has highest MPS, but in absence of any other information. बोलो, any questions for today's session, everyone? सबको समझा? Not able to send. No indifference minus. Sukena, what is your query, Sukena? No indifference. No indifference point. No indifference point means plan B or C, either plan B or either plan C would be dominating. Means if financial manager, if someone asks the financial manager कि plan B और plan C दोनों कब सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, तो फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर से वो कभी नहीं होगा because there is no indifference point. Either I will choose plan B or either I will choose plan C only. I cannot choose. I don't have any option of choosing either of the plans. Are you getting? Means यहाँ पे मैनेजर को फर्क पड़ेगा. At no indifference point means यहाँ पे मैनेजर को फर्क पड़ेगा. He has to choose only one plan out of this B or C. He cannot choose any of this plan. उसको एक ही जिसमें हाईएस्ट ईपीएस है वो ही सिलेक्ट करना होगा. But when EBIT for plan A and B 16,000, it was 16,000. So when EBIT is 16,000, financial plan manager has option. He can choose plan A or B. Anything he can choose. When EBIT is 32,000, he again has an option. Plan A and plan C. He can choose any one of the plan. क्योंकि कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है, but for plan B and C there is no such indifference point. It is more manipulative in practical world because practical world is more on sentimental basis. But from academics point of view, market price is assumed to show a true picture of the company. Manipulation is done in the practical, in the real world, but academically, unless otherwise specified, it is assumed that it is showing the real worth of the company. Market price is showing the real worth of the company. It is not based on any sentiments. यहाँ पे तो प्रैक्टिकल वर्ल्ड में कैसा, इजराइल में बॉम्ब फूटा तो यहाँ सेंसेक्स में फर्क आ जाता है. अंडरस्टूड? कोई भी कंट्री में कुछ हुआ तो इंडिया में उसकी असर आ जाती है. एनीवेयर इन दी वर्ल्ड कुछ भी हो, कोई भी कंट्री में, उसका सीधा निफ्टी सेंसेक्स पे असर आ जाता है. दैट इज प्रैक्टिकल वर्ल्ड. बट फ्रॉम एकेडमिक्स it is not like way. Market price shows the real worth. It has been a useful session. Thank you Sunil for your kind words. Thank you sir. Thank you Om Prakash Gupta. You have been Om Krishna, sorry, not Om Prakash. I have been saying Om Prakash, but thanks Om Krishna, you have been responding and you have been very interactive in the class. Thank you Swati. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day. All the best. We will meet again on, I guess, revisionary lecture is on October 29 for this chapter, and in that session we will learn about capital structure theories. ठीक है? Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.